Hey guys, David here with Philippine American Couple Story. Please like, subscribe, and share our videos. This is going to be topic number 8 about hotels and lodging and tips from our trip in the Philippines. So a little bit of a short series I'm trying to do for you guys. Now, you've probably seen in the other videos that we stayed at the Bai Hotel in Cebu, the Philippines, which is basically a 4-star hotel, big old tall building. It was very nice. Compared to America, it was relatively cheap. Now, part of what we do when we travel and we look at hotels and lodging is what do we get for our money? So now, I personally like to stay in nice hotels or nice places. Sorry. You know, some people like to travel on the cheap. I don't mind spending a little bit of extra money for amenities and services and having pretty things to look at. It's just, look, I'm old. I worked all my life. Yeah, there you go. So our hotel, some things I really liked about the Bai Hotel. One, the location was really good. It was right next to or right across the street from a mall. And as I mentioned, it had public transportation to get you places. Didn't cost us anything. Taxis are right there. It feels kind of private. So it was really nice. The last time we were there, we stayed at the Waterfront Hotel there in Cebu, which is where I think the U.S. Consulate office is located now. I love that hotel. We stayed at the Bai Hotel intentionally this time because we thought we were going to spend more time with my wife's family, even though we didn't get to. But it was closer to them. The Waterfront Hotel is a luxury resort hotel that has beautiful landscaping grounds and everything. Now, there's a lot of really nice hotels in Cebu. Ours had a really cool nightclub on the top floor. I think it was the 27th floor. It had an outdoor long pool and a kiddie pool on the top of it also, and bars and lots of really pretty things to look at and things to do. We spent quite a bit of time upstairs on top of the hotel overlooking the city. Nice. It was very safe and secure. Part of what I really like about nicer hotels is they have bellmen and bellhops. And of course in the Philippines, they really believe in customer service. And the interesting thing about the Bai Hotel was they don't allow tipping at that hotel, which was a little odd for me to get used to because I actually don't mind tipping. I like to tip. But they have a policy against it because they believe everybody should be treated equally no matter how much money you spend. And after hearing the story, I gained a lot of respect for the hotel because they don't take tips. And I tried to give tips on several occasions, and the folks said, well, we can't accept those. And so I had to dig into a little deeper, and one of the ladies at the front desk who helped my wife, and you guys might find this a funny story, is one day my wife decided to go, I think she went to the mall to go bowling with her girlfriends. Well, I decided to wander off and go get something to eat and go do a few things while she was gone. And when she got back, I wasn't in the room, so she called down to the front desk and had the poor girl down to the front desk trying to find me, calling everywhere because she couldn't call me on the cell phone because I was outside of Wi-Fi range. And we didn't have our phone set up to be with new SIM cards in the Philippines. So we had to be on the same Wi-Fi for her to be able to text me. So she couldn't get a hold of me. But anyway, when I got back, I brought my wife a beautiful piece of chocolate cake because, that's what I was doing actually. And she told me the story how she called this poor girl down at the front desk and was trying to find me. They called the coffee shop and they called all the other restaurants and all the other places around there looking for me, and well, they didn't find me. But I went down to thank the girl and to give her a tip for being so wonderful to my wife. And she explained to me, well, we just can't. We don't do that here. And I thought that was really, really interesting. So that's the Bai Hotel. Restaurants are the same way. In the Buy Hotel itself, all the restaurants you don't tip. And I get that and understand that. It was just a little weird. Other places, maybe they have that policy, maybe they don't. The waterfront, when we stayed there the last time, I don't remember them. We tipped there and didn't have any issues. We even tried to leave money on the bed for the housekeepers and they returned it. So they don't accept tips. We enjoyed the Buy Hotel. The food was good. I thought the location was pretty good. The people were super friendly and helpful. When you get there, they open the doors for you, of course, and they check your baggage through the scanners. And you do got to go through a metal detector. And I set it off all the time because I have, my body's old and beat up and I have mechanical parts now. But they were very gracious and nice, and the bellhops were great. Everybody was really nice at the Buy Hotel. So I would definitely recommend that hotel, along with the waterfront also. Now, there's a couple different things you can do for lodging in the Philippines. There's a lot you can do. A lot of Filipinos go back and they just stay with family. Well, I don't want to do that. You can rent a condo. You can do Airbnbs, you can do hotels, you can do resorts, beach resorts. They got cottages up at the beaches that you can rent fairly cheap. You may not have great internet service the further you get out of the cities, but there's lots and lots of different types, just like in the United States and other places, of ones to stay. Now, I would caution you to pick your hotel based on location, meaning if you're right next to a mall in your hotel, be careful what that mall does outside late at night. One of the hotels that we considered staying at was right next to the Park Mall in Cebu, but it was so close to it that late at night when they do Zumba out in the park, loud music and all the bars are going, you would definitely hear it in that hotel. We didn't have that problem at the Buy because we were far enough away. So you might want to keep that in mind when you're doing your research. Think about your location to be convenient for you, to be safe for you, but also what's going to allow you to enjoy your time there. Do you want to be by the bars and where you can just get out of your hotel and go to the nightclubs and the bars? Or do you want to be somewhere a little bit more peaceful where you can get some rest, enjoy the scenery, and really enjoy that? So that's kind of some of the thoughts on that. Now, in general, and I touched on this in another video about tipping, one thing to do is when you're out and about and you're doing things, I think you ought to tip. I'm a big fan of tipping. People work hard for their money. And they may not make a lot of money hourly, so giving a tip is good. But I would encourage you to do it quietly and not let others notice. And what I mean by this is, and I had to learn this. Look, giving somebody, $5 tip, for lunch in the United States is normal or maybe even cheap, on my part, being cheap. Well, a $5 tip in the Philippines is a pretty big tip. That's quite a few pesos. So you kind of got to measure that. So it might be appropriate to only give, 100 pesos versus a 500 pesos. Remember, right now it's 50 pesos to the dollar. So 100 pesos is $2. And versus giving them, $5 US or the equivalent to that. Because part of what can happen is you might make that Filipino a target. If other people see it and go, oh man, that person just got a huge tip from that American or from that German or from that Australian guy, well, that might be a problem for that Filipino. So if you're going to do that, keep it low, don't advertise it, be nice, be quiet, and do it. And they'll appreciate that. That's kind of my recommendation. Don't flaunt things. Very important. Don't make anybody a target. Don't make yourself a target, but tip generously. Enjoy the hotels. Enjoy the beaches. My goodness. I've never used Airbnb, but I've heard a lot of good things about that. But I'm a little bit of an old school guy. I like knowing that I booked the hotel from a business. I know that away. I don't, when I show up at 2 a.m. in the morning like we did, I have a hotel room. I don't have to worry about whether my condo that I rented really is rented under my name or for me or not or whatever. But to each its own. We enjoyed staying there, and we encourage you to do that. I encourage you to go there. Now, we stayed for about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, or roughly. Didn't have any issues overall. So that's just kind of my thoughts on our hotels and lodging and staying there. Here's the really neat thing. I think that the Bay Hotel is probably a 4-star hotel. The Waterfront's probably a 4-star hotel. And if we had those in the United States, I would have probably paid 3 times as much at a night for it in the United States as I did in the Philippines. So that's kind of the really cool thing. You can go to some of these countries and spend a little bit more money and get a really cool place, but it's still cheaper than paying for a Holiday Inn in America. So take advantage of that. That's what we do. We like to take advantage of our dollar and stay at nice places. All right, guys. That's enough about our hotel and a little bit about that. I encourage you to stay at either one of those. And I encourage you to check to see before you get anybody in trouble at your hotel if they allow tipping or not. And if they do, please tip everybody. All right? All right, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And we will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.